All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most merciful, the most compassionate. O Allah, send praises upon Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, his companions, and his followers. Brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I didn't hear anything. Are your hearts locked? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All right. Okay, before we start our program for tonight, I would just like to call upon Brother Anas Yelman to recite up some verses of the Quran, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ قال ربك للملائكة إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء ونحن نسبح بحمدك ونقدس لك قال إني أعلم ما لا تعلمون وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين قالوا سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم قال يا آدم أنبئهم بأسمائهم فلما أنبأهم بأسمائهم قال ألم أقل لكم إني أعلم غيب السماوات والأرض وأعلم ما تبدون وما كنتم تكتمون وإذ قلنا للملائكة اسجدوا لآدم فسجدوا إلا إبليس أبى واستكبر وكان من الكافرين وقلنا يا آدم اسكن أنت وزوجك الجنة وكلا منها رغدا حيث شئتما ولا تقربا هذه الشجرة فتكونا من الظالمين فأزلهما الشيطان عنها فأخرجهما مما كانا فيه وقلنا اهبطوا بعضكم لبعض عدو ولكم في الأرض مستقر ومتاع إلى حين فتلقى آدم من ربه كلمات فتاب عليه إنه هو التواب الرحيم.
Thank you, Brother Anas, for a beautiful recitation. Honorable speakers, Dr. Fadillah Grine, Sheikh Daood, Brother Dia Al-Junaidi, Bro Wasim, and Sister Aisha. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to tonight's program on Unlock Your Heart. You know, the first time I got a call and they told me I'm going to be an MC for tonight's program, they told me the program title was Unlock Your Heart. So the first thing that came into my mind was, do I have some chains and padlock over my heart? And when I entered this hall, I actually saw the key and the padlock there, and it was actually true, because I hope tonight I can also unlock that, you know, chain in my heart as well. So today, we might know what's the problem we face in our heart and what's the things we got to do and the things that we shouldn't do. And before we start tonight's program, I'll just share you some few words, of course. Every journey begins with an intellectual commitment, but at the same time, intellectual humility. This is because we cannot get all we want, and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows why. Intellectual humility may seem weak in our today's reality, but it signifies strength in the eyes of God. We humans are naturally bonded together. We tend to socialize every day of our life. The truth is we can't live alone. We like to help each other, joke, play, but it's unfortunate that greed, pride, honor, and status has poisoned our souls and these natural features of ours. We humans organize our lives according to what they say, but we forget to organize it according to what He says. Tell them you are not my master, but my obstacle to become better. To change the present, change your perception of the world. Change the perception of how you view the world. There is something I personally have never understood. Even science can't prove it to me. This natural force has binded us together, although it has its consequences. This force has pushed me to worship my Lord every day in my life. I still personally believe this natural force is beyond our human rationality. This natural force lies in our heart, and I call it love. We can't define love. Love is universal and infinite. But what I know is that our heart is full of love and mercy. So by taking care of yourself is like taking care of your heart. Today, brothers and sisters, I hope we can unlock our beloved hearts. And inshallah, our speakers of tonight shall try to enlighten us on today's event. So before we start the program, we'll have a short video. And the name of this video is called Baba Ali. So please, let's enjoy Baba Ali.
Do you want to know what makes love grow? What makes love grow? It's half of your deen, said the Prophet, peace be on him. Half of your deen. It's part of Islam, increasing your iman. Half of our deen. Half our deen.com.
The marriage mirage. Before you can be a surgeon, you have to go to school for a very long time. They don't just give you a knife and say, I hope you figure it out. You learn and then you operate. But when it comes to getting married, it's kind of like sign here, congratulations, you're married, Mubarak! And we hope you guys figure each other out. Otherwise, you'll end up in divorce court, and we hope you have a great lawyer. Yes, the average divorce rate is 50%. Divorce? What are you talking about? We love each other like no one's ever loved each other in their life. And like, we're never going to fight. Ever. Right, honey bunny? Right, honey bunny? Honey bunny, bunny? Honey bunny? Yeah. You must be newlyweds, right? Yeah. You think marriage is like what you see on the movies? I guess. It's not! You see, in the first phase of marriage, everything's lovey-dovey. Your spouse can do no wrong because all those little things that they do that you're not used to is just so cute. But after a period of time, those little things can drive you crazy. You realize that marriage isn't as perfect as you imagine, and it takes effort to make it work. You see, when the love potion wears off, you realize Prince Charming's really bad habit of leaving his sweaty socks on the couch. And for the guys, you realize that your little princess keeps accepting these invitations that put you in these awkward situations because you get to these get-togethers where it's just all her friends and you. That's awkward. But that's still not what breaks couples apart. So what does break couples apart? Communication, or the lack of. Yes, many couples have a failure to communicate. I can't really blame him because for the longest times we guys hang out with guys and girls hang out with girls. So we get used to communicating in a certain way. The problem comes when two people who communicate differently try to communicate with each other, but they don't consider how the other side communicates or understands things. And that's when the drama begins. You see, some couples, they figure it out, but most couples don't. And unfortunately, they end up in divorce status shortly after. Or they stayed married and miserable, sitting in therapy, paying someone to help them figure each other out. Well, I'm going to try to save you $90 an hour paying someone to tell you how your spouse communicates. Because I'm making videos that do that, but I'm doing it for free. It's all part of my new matchmaking project where I try to help people find each other. But more importantly than just finding each other, I want them to stay together, inshallah.
Do you want to know what makes love grow? What makes love grow? It's half of your deen, said the Prophet, peace be on him. Half of your deen.
Thank you very much. Although he looks like he's looking for a partner in the video as well. All right, moving ahead, I would like to call upon the program manager of tonight's program, Sister Sundus Ibrahim, to give us a small speech of her. Please join me in welcoming Sister Junaid.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm nervous. Oh my God. Okay, just 1 month ago, I presented a case on, can you read emotions from the faces? So, can you? Yes, Fadillah Grine says yes. So, the thing is, it needs training in a way, but emotions can be read from the faces. What else? I would like to thank Mr. Brother Eddie. Thank you very much for welcoming me. And, I also had another topic called power. You know what power is? Power is not a title, Power is something else, A technician can have a power over you, the technician. MashaAllah. So I'd like to thank the technician as well. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh again. I'd like to formally thank you, all of you, especially VIPs tonight. Dr. Fadillah Grine, Sheikh Daood, our honorable speakers for tonight. Wasim Qawasmi, the head of student club, WAMY club activities in Malaysia. And Brother Haytham, head of WAMY club in IIUM. And also Aisha Sano, head of, vice president of WAMY club in IIUM. So, and I would like to give a special thanks to all the committed or dedicated committees who worked hard for this program to become a success. Without leaving out the great audience that we have here, without you, you made our program more successful. That's what I can say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sister Sundus. All right, let's go now to business. What brought us here tonight? Unlock your heart. I hope I can unlock my heart tonight. Anyways, okay. The first speaker of tonight's program, I have some few words to say about her before she comes on stage. Actually, she is a lecturer at the Department of Islamic History and Civilization. She teaches mainly subjects related to Ottomans, Andalus, Muslim minorities. She is a mentor of few students' clubs at University of Malaya. She is currently the head of research and publication and the head of International Bureau of Consultancy and Training. Academy of Islamic Studies in the University of Malaya as well. She's a life coach, a certified family counselor, and she also counseled. It happens to be like she counseled me last semester as well, and a counselor of marriage and family. She works as a cultural consultant with the Edmonton Public School Board, Alberta, Canada. She conducted a variety of programs and workshops training on different issues. She's married to Dr. Ben Said Benauda from IUM. She has 5 children. 2 of them are at IUM as well. And she works again in University of Malaya, and she loves UIA. Brothers and sisters, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Dr. Fadillah Grine.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I love saying salam and I love receiving salam, so I'll do it again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. First of all, I'm so sorry to sit down because I'm not really feeling well, and I hope you excuse me because this is not my habit. And then inshallah ala barakatillah we'll start. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما ينبغي لجلال وجهه وعظيم سلطانه. الحمد لله حمد الشاكرين الذاكرين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا وحبيبنا وقرة أعيننا محمد. Dear sisters, dear brothers, I'm so surprised so many brothers here tonight. So first of all, I would like to thank so much WAMY Club for organizing such a wonderful event. And I'm so proud of the committee to come up with such a program that is really needed in every and each university. And I worked closely with those girls, especially the girls. I'm sorry, I don't mean to ignore the brothers, but I worked closely with the girls. And they are so wonderful, and they deserve all the support and all the love. Thank you very much. And with a heart full of love, as we Muslims actually, we're just flooding with love. We just love so much. We love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so much. We love Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam so much. We love each other so much. So we're really an environment of love. And love is not strange for Muslims. It's actually we live with love. And it's part of each beat of the heart. If it beats for the sake of Allah, it beats for each beautiful thing we love, it's actually full of love. And it's a very natural thing and part of us. However, sometimes we need to go back and do some definitions. And we need to rethink things. And that's also part of normal life. And also we have to go back often and rethink things and define things back and forth. That's nothing wrong. Let me start first with 2 things that Brother Ali said on the video. And I would like to really a bit of disagree with him. I don't mean really to disagree much because I love that guy. He does a lot of things for Islam and he does lots for youth. And really, I recommend his videos to all of you. Go and see all of them because all what he has on half of your deen, it's really beautiful. And it's very informing and it gives you a lot of training to understand others or the other part that is supposed to be your half of your deen. So this is something about him. But sometimes he said today, for example, that, love is just in the beginning and later on it just, starts going away. It's like, the few days or the few months, which is a very Western perception that we have and the youth especially have, and it actually have a very vital effect later on the marriage life. when people think that real love happened only in the beginning of the marriage, when people are so excited and in love and later on they just let go. So this is not right, because in Islam, love grows. And people, they live together to grow in love. So after 2 years of marriage, love is way better and more than after a year. And in 20 years or 25 years, it's really love. So this is something I'm not saying only from a personal experience. I'm saying it from studies, and I'm saying it from many years of doing counseling to Muslim families. And I know, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, so many families are living the state of mawadda, which is the real love, that is actually subject to growing and becoming from a seed to a tree, and this tree has fruits, and it can give to the world. So this is very important to understand. And I don't mean, Ali Baba does mean to limit love, but it's something, sometimes we say, and we don't pay much attention. I think it's very, can you hear me? All of you? At the end there? If you don't hear me, raise your hand. Okay, so you can hear me. The second thing he said is, don't run to specialists. Don't go to people to fix your problems if you don't have love or communication in the marriage, because here I am giving you tips. And this one we will touch in the end. But it's not true also, because what happens is, if we have a problem, if a fire in the house, we go call, what do we call? We call mom, or we call the firefighters? We should call the firefighters, because we cannot put this fire down without the firefighters. If we have a person with heart attack, we should call a heart surgeon. If we have somebody with a cat, we should really call, we have a problem to understand that even the things that we face emotionally can be like the body disease. We have to treat them. So lack of communication doesn't happen simply because somebody tells me you have a problem of communication. We have really to deal with the issue of communication and learn and train ourselves on how to do communication. But I will come back to the end, inshallah. Okay? But as I promised, where to start today? There's some serious issue I wanted to share with you tonight. And I hope you have big hearts, because the sign of the heart here is to protect me. And I'm starting with a very rusty lock that we do have. And this rusty lock is really bothering me lately, because I get so many complaints from sisters, especially sisters. And let me direct this to brothers as well, too. I need support. Sisters have issues in doing da'wah, because so many brothers out there are being very judgmental and limiting sisters when it comes to doing da'wah. So let's explain it to you that way. I will gather all the complaints and make statements. So the sisters are very good to be the crowd of the da'wah. Like when any alim comes out and he wants to speak, if you look here, the sisters are more. Do you notice? Always the sisters are more. Who is to organize the event? Mostly are the sisters. Who is to work hard? I don't want to say brothers are not. They're the wonderful people also doing their best. But we're just rethinking the process of who is doing what. And we should really recognize those efforts of those sisters who are quiet and working so hard on a program. In the end, mostly they don't even get thanked. And when those sisters, they have the potential to stand up and do da'wah, or speak, or deliver speech, then comes so many people to limit them, and lots of fatwas from people who do not even have the right to issue fatwas. Why sisters are everywhere? When it comes to da'wah and da'wah only, the voice become awra. I really would like an answer. And if somebody has this answer, please, maybe not, you cannot give it to me right now, email me or Facebook. And let me know where is, it says that sisters' voice is awra to deliver da'wah. And why I'm saying this tonight, because I see so much potential to those sisters who can be great da'iyas in the future. And they are limited because they think their voice is awra. And they tremble when they are saying something in public because they think it's very wrong. Let me take you. Islam is a universal religion. It's not for Arabs. Okay, Arabs are not even 7% or 8% of the Ummah. It's not for Asia. It's not for North America. It's for the world. Okay, can we go to North America right now and say to the people, the voice of women is awra? Can? If somebody say yes, we can, please can raise your voice or raise your hand. We cannot, because it's not possible to say that over there. And I notice it's set in a settings of a cultural settings where women are already at the side. And I'm not now calling for a freedom or a feminist group over here. Alhamdulillah, we are Muslimat. We are seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we're doing all what we're doing for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. And we are out there because we think it's our duty to be out there. And I encourage all those girls to do it if they think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling them for that duty. If she has the potential and she has the talent and she has the sabr, because dawah is a journey of sabr and a lots of patience, she needs to be there, let's go for it. And we will not actually be starting a new bid'ah or something new, because our alimat and our scholars, female scholars in the Islamic history are so many, we cannot count. Starting from Sayyidah Aisha radiallahu anha, she is the scholar of the Ummah. Starting with Sayyidah Zainab bint Abbas al-Baghdadiyah, she was side by side to Ibn Taymiyyah all in his journey of ilm. Starting with Shahda bint al-Ibri, alimat al-Hadith. She was actually the teacher of Ibn Qudama al-Maqdisi. The Habiba al-Asbahaniyah, she was Hafidha and Muhadditha. And she was actually the one who gave Al-Hafidh al-Mundiri ijaza in Hadith. So many, I can go on and on and on. Fatima al-Fihriya, she's the one who found Al-Qarawiyyin. Her sister Maryam, she's the one who found Institute of Al-Andalus, the first Institute of Al-Andalus in Morocco. And all those alimat, they were not only people who found Islamic institutions for learning, but also they were people who offer society ilm. And they were sitting at the masajid teaching public. So if people want to discuss this issue, we have to relate it to our roots, to our history, to our models, because those are our models. Aisha and Alimat al-Muslimat, our models. That was just a little bit of start, and I finish with what Sheikh al-Ghazali rahimahullah said something very beautiful about this. He said, I look to the women of Bani Israel nowadays, not long time ago. And he said, I see them, the engineers of war, not only the engineers of buildings. What they do is they are sitting behind their computers and they are directing the fighters. And they are doing the fighting. And they are trained to fight. And they are there, have all the skills they need. Every woman is more skillful than any other man in her society. He said, if these people would attack Muslim societies, what do we say to our women? Get in the house and lock the door? Because our women are not skillful. And let's face this reality. And lately, for the last 2 years, I realized how bad it is that our women are not skillful, and how much they're not supported by brothers and their fathers and their brothers and their husbands to get their sisters and their wives and their sisters and their partners in dawah to become very skillful and powerful. And this is actually duty that doesn't rely on brothers, it relies on sisters to realize that we have to become very, very skillful if we are to carry on the amana of dawah, because we cannot do dawah without skills. So this is one little issue I wanted to touch on, and I hope inshallah it will really unlock the rusty lock about the way we think about sisters in dawah. And I hope inshallah in the very near future I would see sisters and young girls here at the podium doing dawah and speaking to public and raising their voice very high with the beauty of Islam and letting the world know that these girls are so powerful and they can do as much as any other alim do. But I'm not saying speak without ilm, I'm just saying that these girls have potential. Maybe we should train them, maybe we should give them a chance, but we don't limit them for sure. This is one thing. Then let's go back to the topic of tonight. I had so many surprisingly, I had so many messages about the topic of tonight. I got a few people sending me questions on Facebook, on email, and some of those questions were very critical. And I will try tonight to not follow any guidelines. I'll try to speak about, you know, the way we feel, the emotions, the love from the environment of UIA, and how people feel towards each other, how we're supposed to handle those emotions. And also, later on, inshallah, I would like to finish with talking about emotions when it comes about how much we need it to complete our deen or to survive later on and have a wonderful relationship in marriage. So in the beginning, I would like to, get your attention that the feeling of love is so natural, and it's a law of universe, as Brother Eddie was just mentioning right now. It's not something that it's like a gravity. There is a gravity, and there is a law of attraction between males and females that Allah Azza wa Jal put it there. Otherwise, we cannot handle each other. Then life cannot continue, and nobody gets married, and nobody even can stand there and say, I can handle you. So the girls go to another planet, and brothers go to another planet. But Allah made something in the hearts of men and women because He wants us to have feelings for each other. Now, if you look back to our scholars, how they handle this issue, I really love it so much when you go and read in the Adabiyat of Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah. Ibn al-Qayyim was the best scholar in Islam to speak about love, because he defined love and categories of love and how to do towards each category of love. So basically, he made a difference between love and mawadda. Mawadda is a Quranic term that is more comprehensive than the word love. And then he spoke about mahabba. Al-hub is mahabba. Mawadda is the term mawadda and mahabba are the same. And then he spoke about the healthy love, which is mahabba, and then unhealthy love. That is what we call in Arabic when someone is, we call him mutayyam, and then another stage when we call him ashiq. So mutayyam is somebody who is too much in love, and somebody who is ashiq is sick of love. I didn't want to do the literal translation, I want to give you the meaning. Now the mahabba, the normal mahabba is what people feel, the attraction that people feel for each other. Now let's talk about before marriage. So people are dealing with each other in every situation, in a classroom, in doing projects together, doing da'wah together. It's very natural and normal to feel things for each other. If somebody said no, then he's exaggerating and he doesn't know the human nature. To feel things, it's normal. Now, the thing is about Islam is how to handle this feeling. Okay, how to categorize this feeling and how to put a criteria to know whether it's a true feeling, it's a sick feeling, it's a feeling that I should suppress right now because it has no future. And that's why we need to talk about criteria on how to analyze this feeling. You need to be very conscious and aware of this feeling. So the first thing that we should recall, a story that happened to Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib radiyallahu anhu, that was again mentioned by Imam Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah. When Imam Ali was looking to somebody, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam advised him. He said, Ya Ali, لا تتبع النظرة النظرة فإن لك الأولى وليست لك الآخرة. So the first look is a natural thing to happen. It happened. You cannot stop looking. You cannot just wear black glasses and go around. You can look. You will see people around you, right? But then what you do is, when you see the first one happening, then you don't follow. Now the second one happened by intention. The first one happens accidentally, or just because you're walking around when you met with a pretty girl there, just you saw her, you cannot ignore, you say, I didn't see her. But if you follow this nadra with the second one and third one, that becomes gazing, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, again in the Quran, asked the believers to lower their gazes and not actually look again. Okay? Now tell me, okay, I'm talking to a sister and we're having da'wah project together and she's talking to me and I'm talking to her. How can I just not look at her? What I mean by the gaze that's Quranically is supposed to be, it's wrong, is when you feel something with this look. You start feeling something. So you should not let it happen. You should always diverse your attention that you're not looking to the features of the face of the sisters and all her details. I mean, seriously, I'm talking reality. I don't want to give you theories and what's said in the books. Let's just face it, because we're all human beings and we know what's going on, right? So the same thing applies to sisters. You're talking to brother, you're having work together. Don't try to define that brother, how he looks and the color of his eyes and what his hair is like. Seriously, we have to be here, have the adab of lowering the gaze. And it's for our own protection. That's why when we lower our gaze, we نَجِدُ لَهَا حَلَاوَةً. We have sweetness of the lowering gaze, because the hellfire of following a gaze with gaze, it will get to the stage of sick love, which is getting the picture, you know, it's printed in the head. Later on, he will go to his room or she will go to her room and they will start dreaming. Seriously, this is exactly what's happening. Because it's like somebody's taking a picture. It takes like full, light to do that. But if you're just looking like that, I can talk to somebody and I will never remember what's the color of his shirt. But if I do it intentionally, I will remember all the details. I hope I'm clear in this one. So let's move. Sheikh Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah spoke about another stage, which is al-mutayyim. Al-mutayyim is the person who is taken. And this also happens to people could happen on a daily basis if the person doesn't protect himself with lowering gaze. If this person is empty from inside, any picture would be, reflecting inside him. Because the full heart of Iman, the full heart of dhikr, the heart that is protected with the remembrance of Allah, it's hard to be printed. But the heart that is totally empty, it's like, long time ago, before all this digital technology, when you want to develop a picture, you have to take it to a dark room. Remember that, right? That was not long time ago. This is exactly what happened. Like the pictures would really be clear in the dark, in the heart that is really empty. But the heart that is really, really like, busy with the remembrance of Allah. It's too much about Allah and His Messenger over there. It's so hard to get affected by pictures. Pictures, I'm saying pictures. Later on, I'm not speaking about healthy yet. How to feel about each other, I consider healthy. I'm still speaking about things that happen that you might think it's love, and it's not. It's just physical attraction. Okay? So the person goes around, and sister, may Allah forgive her, she has all, her beauty displayed so beautifully, and she worked so hard on it, and she's out there killing. And I told sisters so many times, don't dress to kill. Just go outside to make peace. With your hijab, you are spreading the word of peace. You are being peaceful. And then you cannot stand half an hour in front of that mirror to make yourself look in a certain way and to give this impression or to put that amount of perfume or that amount of makeup on you and don't expect yourself to affect the other. I'm not saying you're responsible about his deen, because in front of Allah Azza wa Jal, He is responsible about His deen. You're responsible about your dress, your deen, your intentions. Only Allah knows why you stand up half an hour in front of that mirror. Or that brother who talks to a sister and he is displaying all his skills because he wants to leave that impression with her. And this is like lying, because you really cannot marry this sister. You don't have that intention. Why you are trying to steal her heart? And so many brothers do that. He's this charming personality, and he's talking, jumping between sisters, talking to this one, the other one, the other one. Maybe every day he has 20 victims. Seriously, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do this, because see, in Islam, everything has to be with intention. If your intention is bad, Allah knows. So you're doing da'wah and you're giving impression to sisters like, look, you know what? Let me talk now about the type of questions I get. Sisters send me questions saying, Sister Fadillah, I feel for this guy. He keeps on talking to me so nicely, but then he gets away, and I don't know if he's interested to ask for my hand or not. Has been going on for 2 years. That's a torture. So brothers and sisters, Do not give the impression that you do not mean it. Dot. If you mean to impress this sister and make her understand that you're interested in your hair, next week you're going to see her father, do it. Fine. But if you do not have this intention, sisters and brothers, this is a major sin because you're doing it on a daily basis and you're impressing each other for nothing. Okay, the other criteria. I am not ready for marriage right now. Why am I distributing hopes on girls or girls distributing hopes on brothers? Why are you doing this? For the sake of Allah, why are you doing this? I decide today not to follow any script. I just want to talk to you heart to heart because we are opening our hearts tonight, right? So please open your hearts to me. Why are you giving hopes if you're not even ready to get married? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave you the prescription. If you cannot get married, what to do? Sabr, salat, and sawm, fasting. Protect yourself and protect others from yourself. If you're so handsome, or you're so beautiful, or you're so attractive, just keep it to yourself. Protect people from yourself. Okay? Because you're not ready to get married right now. This is one thing. The other thing is attraction. Okay, sister asking me, Sister Fadillah, I have a major issue. I am not very tall. So I keep on buying all this long. And I want to look tall because I think our guys don't like short girls. Okay, bit painful, but I'm sorry. I'm going to have to deal with this. This has to do with the self-esteem of many brothers and sisters. By the way, how people get attracted to each other. Okay, you can easily find out. Look at the people who are already married. Sometimes, just look at people who are married. Don't look to girls and boys. Just look at the people who are married. You will find a tall guy married with a short lady. Or a short lady, a long, very, very tall lady married with a short guy. Or somebody who is pretty much like too white is married with, a dark skin. Why? Because this attraction thing, it depends from one person to the other. There is no such a thing, like Ali Baba said something very beautiful the other day. He said, when you are in North America, white, blue eyes, blonde hair, this is nothing. You're not attractive. Why? Because that's normal. That's the normal. Bring that guy here and you see what happens. Now take somebody from here with a very beautiful curly hair and brown dark eyes and put them in North America. And you see what's going to happen. They're so gorgeous. They're so beautiful. So this is something you need to know about the law of attraction that is very natural that Allah puts in the nature of the people. Some people get attracted to the voice of somebody. Somebody gets attracted to the, kindness of somebody. Somebody gets attracted to, the way people express themselves or the way they just are so nice with others, I know brothers, they ask me, Sister Fadillah, can you help me to get married? What are you looking for? A long time ago, they used to say beautiful. Now, not anymore. Trust me, they're not saying beautiful anymore. I want a sister who is so kind. I want a person who's so kind. I can live with her the rest of my life. Isn't that so wonderful? That's a very mature brother. I love him so much. He's here. Okay, so we're going on, still talking about criteria. There are so many criteria that we need to know. So we're looking to how to feel about each other, how to feel about each other. Now, you are naturally living in a campus where it's the face of the ummah. You're doing things together. You have wonderful, beautiful projects together. You're going to meet everywhere, every day. You're going to have things happening every day. So let's just be natural. You know what's be natural? Like sisters, you know what's the aura in your voice? When you start speaking something that's not yours. Like when you go like, ee. Don't do that. Just don't do that. Just speak yourself. Be your voice. Just don't do the ee thing. Don't do it. And even as women, we get frustrated from that. We cannot handle it. Others, miskin brothers, they don't know what is this. They think it's a musical. Okay? Brothers, talking to sisters, don't use your eyes too much. Just keep your eyes to yourself. Just talk with your voice. Okay, don't kill each other by this, because again, the last stage that Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah spoke about is what? Ishq. Ishq is a disease. And what is ishq? When somebody puts in his heart a girl or a boy, and then they start thinking so much about it that it destroys their life. There is no ibadah. They are in the middle of the salat, Allahu Akbar. And then they're worshipping that person. Wallahi they do. Wallahi, I'm not making that up. People who have this issue here, they can tell you, but I'm sure they were not. But there are so many people who are having these issues. I get, I have been 15 years counseling. And girls get sick, physically sick, because she has been thinking of this guy. And after she gets married, she doesn't like her husband because he does not have the picture of this guy. And the brother is sick of a girl, and he continued to be sick of her. She poisoned his life, all his life. He gets married, and he cannot see his wife. It doesn't matter, she is beautiful, she is kind, she is the mu'mina, she is the salihah, she's whatever. He doesn't care, because the picture, the sick picture is like a tumor. It has to be removed. He needs a real tawbah to Allah Azza wa Jal. He needs to wash up his rusty heart and unlock his heart for the new love to come in. So take it very serious. Don't get yourself in that stage of ishq, because Allah protected us from that. If we get there, we get sick. That's what happened to Romeo and Juliet. That's what happened to Qais and Layla. And we read about them and we think it's fun, it's love. It's not love, it's a sickness, it's a disease, it has symptoms. The heartbeat goes very high, the people can get fever, they can get sick, they lose appetite, they cannot study, they lose their future, they cannot read, they cannot pray, they can do nothing. They need ruqya. They need ruqya, and also they need tawbah, serious tawbah. Because even when they get in ishq, they still need to take care of it. They're still responsible in front of Allah Azza wa Jal. They're not in the state of majnoon. They're not crazy. Okay, so they still are responsible to get themselves out of this stage. So, I don't know where I end up like this. I didn't mean it to scare you so much about love. But let's try to measure. Now I want to have a healthy relationship with sisters, brothers and sisters, okay? I want to deal with that because this is your daily life in here. Now you're dealing with that. There is nothing we can do about this. We cannot say have half campus of UIE for sisters and half campus for brothers. Can we do that? Not possible. We don't have enough rooms and lectures. So what we can do here is this. Measure your relationships according to criteria. Okay, I will stop very soon because I want to deal with questions. I don't want to talk too much. There are criteria you can actually put your relationship into a measure. You know, like you can measure how much milk it's a liter or it's half a liter, or if it's a cup or it's 25 milli. Or we have to be able to feel our emotions and measure them. And this happens by practice, by training. You are the master of your heart. First of all, free your heart from any disease, okay? Get there. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمَّ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. So the first thing, it's recognized by Allah Azza wa Jal, and it's actually used that the hearts have locks. They can get locked, and we cannot open them. So we need to have the hearts of the keys for our hearts. And this happens by tadabbur, by ibadah, by Quran, by purification on a daily basis. If you do not do that protection to your heart, if you don't do that inside house cleaning to yourself, nobody will do it for you. You are the only one who knows what's in your heart. You are the only one who knows how to rearrange your heart, how to put things in order, how to clean up from inside. Nobody knows. Even the sheikh who's speaking here, even the teacher, even the friends who are going with you to the halaqah, they cannot do with you. You have to do it for yourself. You have to be sincere, sit in a corner, cry as much as you want, get it out, clear it up. Okay? This is where we have to start. If we don't do it this way, at least once a month, we have to do this major operation of tawbah. If not every day, because the Sahaba of Rasulullah, they used to do it on a daily basis because they had a program of qiyam every single day. and they cry to Allah to forgive them. Even they didn't have to deal with that much sisters and brothers. But still, they were in the field of jihad. They were so pure, and they're still doing the repentance and the tawbah. Why not us? We are flooded by sounds and media and junk all over the place. We cannot protect ourselves but with help of Allah Azza wa Jal. Tubu ilallahi jami'an. We have to repent to Allah Azza wa Jal as often as possible. This is the first thing. Then, we have to continue to live our lives, right? So now I'm dealing with sisters, or I need to complete my half deen. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was clear about that. يا معشر الشباب من استطاع منكم الباءة فليتزوج. Get married if you can. And please, all of you, if you can, get married. But again, how to go about it? You have issues. I'm a student, I cannot afford it. That's a fact, that's an issue. What are you going to eat? Yes, some of you will handle to live very poor. Most of us, we got married when we have nowhere to live. We have no food to eat. But alhamdulillah, we survived it, and we are okay. And I got married when I was in my BA. I didn't finish my BA, and alhamdulillah, you know, I went on ups and downs, and we had days we didn't have to eat. But I know other sisters, they couldn't handle it. They couldn't take it. They had a nervous breakdown. They have to be gone to the hospital because they couldn't take this situation. So you have to deal with that. You have to be realistic. Then your family. So many sisters are asking me, Sister Fadillah, I love this brother. He's so religious. He's so good. My parents said no. What can I do? Just say no to him. Easy. Because you cannot marry with your family, without your family. Your family is the protection of your marriage. In Islam, the marriage is not between two people, it's between two families. The two families, the families are a protection of marriage, because in the marriage you go up and down, you go up and down. You need to run to your mom, you need to run to your auntie, you need to go to your dad. Your husband will respect you more when you have the support of a family. You know, an issue I faced so much when I was counseling back home in Canada, so many sisters were converts. And I say that right now, I really feel like crying, and I don't want to cry. So many sisters get married with Egyptians, Algerians, Tunisians. And dramatic, very dramatic life, very dramatic end to the marriages. Why? I came up with a conclusion after many years of counseling. So many of those sisters, they don't have a family to support them. So the man came, find her so easy to get married with her. The imam performed the nikah quickly. You know, if you cannot agree with the Shafi'i, go to a Hanafi imam. If not a Hanafi imam, go to a Maliki. You know, you can go anywhere, no problem. You know, seriously, right now, Sister Fadillah, we want to get married. My parents are against. Do you know a Hanafi imam who can perform marriage for us? Astaghfirullah al-azim. It's like, you know, if I cannot find it in Jusco, I will find it in Carrefour. Okay, so it's very important. Yes, might be a little bit of extremist here, but I think as a counselor, as a consultant for family, as someone who have been doing research about Muslim families, disasters, I say disasters, for the last 2 years at least, I don't recommend a marriage without the consent of the family, without the support of the family. In cases where a sister doesn't have a family, that's a totally different issue. So 99%, I would say, yes, the family. Your parent doesn't like him or doesn't like her, don't get married with her. Why? Because again, we're not worshiping a picture. Here I come to the most serious issue. When you choose a partner of your life, do you choose the frame first, or you choose the picture first? You have to decide, it's up to you. But I see that people buy the frame first, and then they decide what to put. Then they have to fit in so many pictures, and it doesn't fit in there, so it has to fit the frame. What I'm trying to say here, when you try to get married, before even you pick the person, write down your criteria. What do you want to have in that person? A brother or a sister? You want her to have a deen? This is your major issue? Write it up there, priority. You want to have to be pretty? That's fine. Everyone wants to have a pretty wife. Or you want to have a handsome? That's your right. But put your issues there. Then try to take those issues and see where they fit and get married. Because you want to tell me there is only one beautiful girl in the world? You want there is only one wonderful, mu'addaba, wonderful religious girl in the world? No, there are so many. So sometimes we get stuck in a frame of a girl or in a frame of a guy, and then we start worshiping that frame. And that's why sometimes when our parents say no to him, we die. Why we die? Because we're worshiping the frame. The parents, they know. It doesn't fit this one, it will fit another one. She is not beautiful, or she is too beautiful, you will find another one, she's more beautiful. Allah can subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you a wonderful wife. But you have to be open. But you really must write your criteria. Please don't forget that one. Because I believe tonight, the most wonderful gifts I'm trying to give you, wrapped in a heart, with the warmth of my heart, is have your criteria ready before you pick the person. Because the criteria is very important. And that's actually after I questioned so many people who are already married. I wish I had a criteria. I just want to get married. With whom? I don't know. I just want to get married. What do you mean you want to get married? With whom? What? What do you want? Do you have a goal in your life? Match it with the woman you want to be with. Okay? You are a person who's an intellectual. Marry with a woman who have this potential. You are a person who wants to be, more practical, doing some projects and doing things in your life that you need that type of person. Do it. Pick the person for that. 1 minute or less. Thank you very much. I will stop right away. Okay, now the last thing I would say is this. When it comes to relationships or after even marriage, there are criteria we can measure. A relationship that is happier is what we call healthier. A healthier relationship is happier. The healthier the relationship, the happier it goes. How does this happen? When people are having respect in the relationship. What happened? This is a healthy relationship. If no respect is there, it's not healthy. Tell me there is love, it will die. There is no communication. Is it a healthy? No. It's like missing hemoglobin. Okay, fine. This relationship will die. There is no love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bound those two couples together. What is going on wrong here? There is no security. Because the love of Allah and His Messenger is the only security for a family to continue. Because when you say to husband, for the sake of Allah, his heart will soften. And when you say to your wife, for the sake of Allah, her heart will just melt. But if there is no such a thing, no. This relationship has no security. It's in the air out there. Anything can affect it. Anything of this life can destroy it and take it away. Okay? Many, many other criteria we have to have in a relationship that we call healthy, that makes couple healthy, that makes them means they're happy. And by the way, subhanallah, I thought I discovered something very interesting when I'm talking about happiness and healthy relationship. And subhanallah, I was reading in a book of Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah, and I found some interesting talk about increasing happiness by increasing qualities of a person in relationship. Exactly what are we talking right now? Coaching, counseling, psychology. These people knew it all. Where did they get it from? From the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from the book of Allah. So, fihima, in those two books, what if we keep on reflecting, we will never, inshallah, miss the way to happiness, to love, and to find, inshallah, the right partner and the right half of our deen. And if we are also married, it is actually the book that we refer to in our daily life. Jazakumullahu khairan, and thank you very much for your sabr. And inshallah, I'm looking to hear from you, inshallah, a few questions before I go down, and let's, inshallah, for Sheikh Daood to come up next.
All right,
So,
those who
yeah.
want to ask questions to the doctor, you can proceed here. If you're shy, the committees who are going to pass out some papers and just send it up to me so that I can read it for the doctor.
If you cannot say your question, you can write it down. That's fine. While waiting for the questions,
Okay.
I had a question, came to my Facebook today, because I said on my Facebook today, so I'm talking about love. And a lady said to me, a sister actually, a very young sister said to me, I don't believe in love. Why? Because I am a strong person, and if the minute I still thinking like all those girls love and love, I will actually lose my strength. Again, let's be natural. We're not calling you tonight here to make you feel something you don't have it. We're just actually trying to get to a healthy feeling where you control your emotions, you understand them, you direct them, you guide them to what Allah loves. Because sometimes another criteria I missed actually was the first one is, it's not what I love only. Does Allah love it? Does Allah love what I'm doing right now? What does Allah think about what I'm feeling right now, what I'm doing right now? That's actually major criteria we should be looking into. So we cannot ignore our feelings. Yes?
Is there someone for a question? Okay, before I read out the question.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for your
Please keep it short.
wonderful talk.
Thank you.
Yeah. I just want to ask about the relationship that you're always talking about it, like a start relationship, a start relationship. Is that you mean after khutbah or before khutbah?
Okay, very good
Because
question.
before khutbah, it's...
Okay,
Okay,
that's good.
and can I ask one question?
Another one, okay.
Okay, the voice of woman is aura or not? The voice of woman is aura or not? So I checked about it, yani I searched about it, and it's saying like if there is no fitna in her voice, so it's okay to be like in public and others. But sometimes even a girl, if she recited the Quran, maybe it gives fitna to the brothers, right? So what's your opinion? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'll quickly deal with this. First of all, before khutbah and after khutbah, there is no such thing called before khutbah. Before khutbah, there is nothing. After khutbah, again, it's limited, because when we're talking about khutbah, thank you very much for asking this question, because it has to do with many questions I'm receiving these days. The relationship of marriage started with the aqd al-nikah, which is zawaj. And not even enough, it has to be i'lan al-zawaj, which is announcing the nikah. Because also there is an issue right now of people making aqd nikah so they can go around and be together. And sometimes they decide, oh, we're not good for each other, so let's go home, and you go home, and the girl is called divorcee, and she has never even been married. So that's has to, I mean, we have really complicated issues to deal with. That's why I said to the girls, you know, I feel like I'm in an ocean here and I have to survive. The issues of marriage and love are so many. We have to deal with them, and I cannot deal with them in half an hour, not even 2-3 hours. So that's just a touch based on what we can right now here. The first issue, there is no such a thing that there is a relationship between before khutbah. Before you show your intention to get married with a girl, or there is something called khutbah between families, it shouldn't be anything starting in the first place. Now, there is some feelings after khutbah, yes, that's natural, because you know now you're getting married with this guy or you're getting married with this. Yes, that would be a feeling. But that, again, would be controlled by akhlaq, which is, you know, restrictions of sharia. We cannot be alone together in a private, we cannot, you know, try to get too much into, you know, expressions of love and getting each other so excited to the point that we can fall in haram. So all those things are restricted in khutbah. People can meet only with the wali, with somebody from the family. And I know people are not doing that. Unfortunately, I know people are text messaging each other in a wrong way. And this makes me deal with the second question, that can I email brother and text him? It's not about emailing a brother and texting him. It's about, nobody really can say it's haram or halal to email a brother or text him, because you could be doing work together, you must do it. But it's the way. If you say, dear brother, is the venue booked for today? Thank you. That's a big difference when I say, oh, dear brother, I missed you. I didn't see you today. I was looking for you all day. And the guy will start, you know, dancing. So be careful, guys. Only Allah knows. Between you and Allah, use your words properly. Again, do not say something you don't mean it. Don't give too much hope to somebody. Okay, I am answering other questions. Awra, first the Awra thing. Awra. Okay, when it comes to the voice of women, the voice of women is a normal voice. Okay? When she decided to make her voice Awra when she changed the tone, with intention, and she means to get attraction or something by that change in her voice. That's typically, clearly haram. Nobody can discuss that. But she is speaking about serious issues, she's lecturing, she's talking, she's discussing. There is no such thing called the voice of women and awra. And we know that in the masjid of Rasulullah, women were raised in the back saf, and they would ask, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Nabi Allah, Ya Khalifat al-Mu'mineen, and they would say what they wanted to say. There is no such a thing, okay? Women reciting Quran, in the Middle East, we consider it awra. We have to go by fiqh Ahl al-Medina or the adis Ahl al-Medina. In Malaysia, it's considered to be normal for women. And I find it fine because when people listening to the Quran, the words of Allah by women, I don't think they will go and think about her voice. I think the words of Allah are way stronger than the voice of anybody reciting Quran. Because the same thing can apply to a man. He has so beautiful voice, women also can go crazy about that voice. Right? Right or not? Yes. You know, there are so many people who listen to a sheikh because of his voice and they love his voice so much, especially women, especially shuyukh at the TV, and they get a call from a sister so much and in love with you because of your voice. It happens for both sides. So we're saying here, normal, healthy people would not think about a voice of women if she's reciting Quran that it's any attraction because it's more beautiful. It's just beautified for the sake of the words of Allah. Okay? And it has to do with the culture, because if you take a sister to recite Quran in Arab world, people will start throwing some, shoes on her. If she's doing it in Malaysia, that's fine. So we respect also customs. Yes?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, doctor, for enlightenment speech. My question is that I think so all those who have siblings in UAE are suffering, because if you are with your brother, they might think that he is your boyfriend or so. So can you give us, by the way, he's my brother, the cameraman. So can you give us advices, between siblings, how to deal with each other inside UAE? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Doctor, you can answer that fast, but you got a lot of things to do tonight.
Okay, I'll go very quick. Okay, then, this is a very good question. I had to deal with it personally today. I was with my husband today walking in UAE, and I was so close to my husband. Then I noticed the girls were giving me a look. So I said to my husband, can you just move away a little bit because people don't know who you are? Okay, that's exactly what happened to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was with Safiya, and then people thought, who is she with him in the dark? And he has to call the people and tell them that she is his wife, Safiya. Well, you cannot really stop people thinking what they think. But general call to the Muslims that we have to have good intentions. Sometimes I saw actually my son with my girls, mashallah, they're all his tall, and people think, what's this guy doing with these 3 girls? He's like, hey, I'm the brother. So it's normal, it's very normal for people to think things, but you're not responsible about that. People will get to know later on if they ask. If somebody's interested to ask for your hand, especially, they will come will ask, who is this guy? Then he will know that he's your brother, nobody else. Okay, go ahead. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, I got like 20 questions here, but I try to summarize them into 7 topics because most of them are the same. Okay, most of them are asking, what about he or she, a girl, she falls in love with a guy and she wants to propose to the guy. That means basically it's wrong, and of course it's wrong, it's the guy to propose, but what is the step to go through that? That's one. Second?
AD, please, can you deal with one more? Because I don't guarantee I will remember. Just let's give
all
me
right,
minutes
no
for
problem.
each. Okay.
No problem.
Well, proposing to a guy. Okay, that's a very serious question. First of all, Islamically, there is nothing wrong because I had to search that. There is nothing wrong with proposing to a guy because the customs are the men propose to a woman. And what's known is the woman, she is more wanted and she is naturally a man would propose. But what happened is she doesn't have to propose herself. Okay, go to him and, excuse me, I want to get married with you. She has to be, it has to be done in the proper channel, like sending somebody or sending, talking to her parents. And subhanAllah, I know cases, real cases where parents knew from their girl that she's interested in this guy because of his akhlaq and deen. And the father went and approached the man and they got married. Alhamdulillah, it's nothing wrong. You know, this is aib. It's like, you know, taboo in our culture and society because if it's aib, As-Sayyidah Khadija radiyallahu anha, Sayyidat Nisa al-Jannah would not do it. Yes, because she was a widow already and she was an older, she is wiser. Most of the girls, they just fall in love and they don't know what they want. Most of them because they lack experience, so it's the attraction again. If you really think about it, consult with your parents and you think this is exactly what you want, I don't see there is something wrong with proposing. Okay, but then if he say no, don't get shocked. Because it's his right to say no. And then I have to deal with another question, Edith. Forgive me.
Okay, no problem.
This one is sisters complaining. A brother asked for my hand. I said no to him. He's bullying me. He's following me all over the campus and asking me to reconsider my decision. Excuse me. I mean, yes, you can feel something for her, but it doesn't mean that she has to feel it for you. So please respect the decision of the other part. When they say no, just stop there. It's a stop sign. Don't move. Don't do more. And if you have to try once or twice, don't do more than that. It becomes bullying. Seriously, it's a bullying. So don't do it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, doctor. I hope a girl can also propose to me, inshallah. All right. Okay, there's another one, but I just try to put it together.
Brother Eddie, be careful. This is a call. You're doing a public call. You are in trouble.
I was trying my luck, that's all. All right, there's a lady, I don't know if it's a lady or he, but she said there's this young, lovely guy who buys her Nazi Lemak every morning and keeps telling her, I love you and I want you, but she's not in love with him. That's first. Second, the duration of looking at a person, because you said the first sight, when you look at someone, the second sight is prohibited. So this sister or brother is asking, what about if I look at him at the first sight for 10 minutes? Is it okay?
Don't be very excited because this is really serious. Okay. Here you go, sisters and brothers. Again, we have to put things in the right scale. First of all, looking for nothing, looking for pleasure, looking to play, looking to steal, you know, from others, is totally different than somebody who has the intention of marriage. This one is given the right by Sharia to look further because he has the intention, and intention can be measured only by Allah. You can now come and tell me, you know, Sister Fadillah, I have the intention to marry with the girl, that's why I'm following her all over the campus. You can tell me that. I can believe you, but it's between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I cannot know. So if you do have a serious intention to get married, yes, you can look and look and look. Yes, because you need to know that person. You need to ask about her. You need to know her properly. You need to look to her properly. You need to really get to know the person. I'm not saying spend time with her. I didn't say write her long emails. I didn't say bully her. I didn't say follow her everywhere and send her flowers. You don't have that right. If you ask for your hand and you got the acceptance of the family, you can move on to another stage. If you don't have it, don't give yourself that right. You don't own any other sisters to do that with her. It's a haram. You cannot do that. So basically, if you do have the yes of the family, it's a khutbah, then you can express your love by sending flowers and chocolates and whatever you want to do. Before that, you can't. Okay? So look for khutbah, yes, more than 10 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, one more, because we need to give the next speaker also time. So Do you want to take one more last question?
It's up to you. I respect your time.
All right, one more last question, and then if you want to see the doctor later, you can maybe talk to her on Facebook, or you can talk to her personally, because we're running out of time and we have to close the venue. Thank you. Yes, brother.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much. I think, yeah, it's love is about loving her. I mean, loving her for who she is. That means loving something can be defined, can't be held, can't be stopped. And if that is the case, then you love her personality. We are in the university that is next. So seeing her with you, giving a presentation, she's so modest, so kind. So it's long process. That's what love is. It is not like on the spot. That is the wrong love, which is loving her for the picture, loving her for something beyond that. That takes time. And we are in this university, which is mixed. So it's you can't just avoid it. So I think it doesn't work to say you just have to just think about something else. It can't work. So if you could tell somebody who doesn't love the woman for just the picture, but loving her for who she is, which is very. So if you could tell something which
Want me
could
to tell you
work.
what to do?
Yeah.
That person who.
I mean, for the UIS students, which is, I mean, all of us, because we are in mixed university, so
Okay.
yeah.
I think I got your question. So basically you're saying something really realistic. That's why tonight I didn't want to prepare and talk. I want to talk to you. I want to look at you and see what we need to talk about and talk. So basically what happened is, yes, you're right, brother. You are faced with, you're faced with girls every day. You're faced with brothers every day. And you come to what we call in Arabic, ijab. You get attracted. And by the way, this doesn't happen only to people who are not married. It happens to the people who are married. Like a man is married, and he sees somebody who is like so charming personality, and he might get actually in something we call beginning of love. He might get some attraction. But then here comes the aql, comes the mind, and rearrange things and put them together. Now, if I feel something for this girl, I said, put it into realistic thing. First of all, am I getting married? Then I can allow myself to think further and inquire further about that person or admire her person more. But if I'm not even intentionally getting there, I'm not even ready for marriage, what am I thinking about? I'm getting myself sick. Because the more you think about that person, what happens is you get to the stage of mutayyim, which is too much in love, then you get to the stage of ishq, which is too sick to handle. Okay, being normal about it, how to handle it on a daily basis is you have to suppress the urgent feelings. Like you feel something for somebody, it's not realistic. Happens 10 times, start thinking about it. What is it? Am I really attracted to that person? Am I wanting to get married with this person? Then you start seriously thinking about it. Put it on paper. See, what do you want? Is she the person or is he the person I want to have a life with? Okay, then it is a big issue here. It's happening from one side. Don't ever forget that. Sometimes it's the girl dreaming and planning, or the guy planning and dreaming, and it's never happening because the other side have no clue. So don't give yourself that, like space to develop that idea more than it takes. We have to suppress feelings, basically, until a project or an offer of marriage is made. Okay, now I'm never getting that offer, what to do? Okay, I'm never getting that offer, what to do? Then you have to know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have something for you somewhere, sometimes coming, inshallah. You should be patient and you should trust in Allah. Because if this girl doesn't like you or said no to you, or if this guy did not look at you and never pay you attention, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has something wonderful for you, somewhere to trust Him. We're believers. We're not like any other people. Oh my God, I lost the chance of my life. He got married with my friend and I'm never getting married again. It's not like that. It's not like that. You have to be open. You have to trust in Allah Azza wa Jal. And final word. I think you don't have any other question for me, right? Do you? Okay, so this is my final word. Before we get married, there is something very important. We must pray to Allah every single sujood, if possible, if you don't forget, for Allah Azza wa Jal to guide you to the right half of your deen. Because this is very important. And I see someone smiling to me, because when I advise a sister, she's like, you want me to make dua for that every day? I said, yes. Because that person you will spend the rest of your life with. So it's okay to make dua for him from now, or her. Oh Allah, guide her to me and guide me to her and make her pious and make him pious and make him the best of your people. And inshallah, bless me with this marriage with the most wonderful person on the world. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. And ask Allah and He will give it to you. I guarantee you He will give it to you. Because if we ask Allah Azza wa Jalla with the intention of, yes, I will get it, He will give it to you. Ibn al-Qayyim last thing, I love him so much, that's why I have to mention it every 5 minutes. He said something so beautiful. Your dua, if it's so strong, it's like the arrow. You go like this and you go, and it hits the point. And Allah makes the ijabah. It happened. If your dua is so weak, Ya Allah, if you wish, give me a good husband. If you don't wish, it's okay. Then what happened is, your dua will come back on your head. It will not get accepted. So make sure what type of dua you do. Astaghfirullah al-azim li wa lakum wa thank you very, very much for this wonderful evening I had with you. And I hope, inshallah, inshallah, we will continue to unlock so many rusty locks in the future. I'm sure this topic will continue because we did not even unlock even 2 or 3. So I promise, inshallah, we will talk more about this. Thank you very much, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah, Doctor. MashaAllah, that was a very enlightened speech and talk. I could notice at the beginning of the speech when she started supporting our sisters to do dawah, I could notice some of the sisters were like, yes, doctor, do it, tell them. You know, that was good. And she really tried to enlighten us on she gave us hopes, basically, and I appreciate that, doctor.